Hello. For the World Empowering Lumen Congress on Multidimensional Education, uh, November 22nd to 26th, 2022, happening in Iași, Romania, Mirela, Anghel, Mihaela, Popa, and Gheorghița, Nistor have prepared a presentation on educating social workers from a prosocial behavior approach. When we think of prosocial behavior, we also think of altruism, that are both concepts that incite reflection, and the theoretical framework explains the formation and development of these concepts based on a biological, sociological, and psychological theories, but there are also a number of factors in the social environment that determine their occurrence. The prosocial behavior makes a reference most of the times to the kind and unconditional attitude of offering help, that is altruism. Therefore, we define prosocial behavior, the type of behavior that is oriented to support, maintain, and promote social values without the expectation of external rewards, a definition provided by Professor Septimiu Chelcea. Therefore, the altruism being defined as a kind, unconditional attitude of help and support for people is a major input in explaining prosocial behavior. The most used theories in explaining prosocial behavior are classified in biological, sociological, and psychological theories. It's interesting to follow the child personality that is formed starting from these factors, biological, social, psychological, and moral, and all them influence the structure process. Knowing the mechanism that prosocial behaviors are formed, the form mechanism of the social and psychological self, we better understand why these patterns offered to the child by the people around are so important. But not always these belonging processes take shape, and there are instances of incongruities, and then a change is imposed based on a motivation. The models that are universally accepted are those who study the forming and development of prosocial behavior. And here we refer to the cost-benefit hypothesis of J. Pilivan and the normative hypothesis explained by Rushton and Mullin. And these two hypotheses, the cost-benefit and the normative ones, can be included in the psychological theories and explicative sociological theories of the prosocial behavior. When it comes to prosocial behaviors, Carlo and Randall presents four types: altruistic prosocial behavior, compliant prosocial behavior, emotional prosocial behavior, and public prosocial behavior. The two authors studied prosocial behavior and developed a tool for measuring prosocial behavior for late adolescents, which is called Prosocial Tendencies Measure, or PTM, which has 23 items. And it was composed of 6 subscales: public, anonymous, dire, emotional, compliant, and altruism, an instrument that revealed the existence of individual differences in social behaviors in late adolescence. Now, the method of our research and the participant of the study and the procedure is based on the fact that a career in the social work domain involves acquiring skills that are based on altruism and prosocial attitudes. Career choices in social work may be influenced by various factors such as volunteering or other prosocial models. The purpose of this research is to assume that there is a link between the prosocial patterns in personal experience and the choice to study social work and to develop a career in this area. The participants in our study were 230 students who were enrolled in the social work major at the Public State University in Romania. These participants were recruited from the first year of study of the social work bachelor degree. We have the structure of the students is the following. We have 213 females, which is almost 90% of our respondents, and 25 males, almost 10%. 93 students have the residence in the rural environment, and 145 have the residence in the urban environment. The instrument that we have used, Prosocial Behaviour Survey, the 16-item PBS was composed of 2 scales and was used to measure pro-social attitudes and behavior. The first sub-scale of the sociological survey explores the acquisition of pro-social attitudes and behaviors through learning, conducting volunteering activities, perception of models offered by civil society and school. The second subscale was the motivation to become a student in social work and choosing a career in social work. Participants responded to the questions in the sociological questionnaire, having the answer number 5 items on the Likert scale, ranging from 1, which is very little agreement or disagreement, to 5, which is total agreement to a great extent, according to my own answer, or an affirmative or negative type of response. The result of the study: for the first subscale, participants were asked if they would like to work in social work after completing their study in social work, that is, after obtaining a bachelor degree in social work. 72% say that they would like to practice in the field of social work, and most students have learned about the social work domain from the online environment, from the faculty websites, 57% from the national press, 14% from friends, and the rest then from high school teachers. About 72% said that they would like to participate in the field which they formed their preparation. And half of the survey students were involved in voluntary activities before choosing to study social work and become a social worker. Through voluntary activities, students can test altruism, considered innate, personality characteristics, empathy, and develop their skills to work in the field of social work with vulnerable people. The types of organizations where volunteering took place were non-governmental organizations, NGOs, foundations, associations that had to provide services for children, the elderly, and people with disabilities. Half of the investigated students were not involved in voluntary activities, which represents a significant percentage of the batch, almost 49%. A possible explanation may be that 40% of students came from rural areas where the NGO sector is not very well developed, and obviously we have had the isolation social period due to COVID-19 pandemic crisis. The next question referred to the motivation that determined them to become volunteers. The main reason was the desire to help those in difficulty, and also the way that they can test their altruistic qualities. The attitudes and pro-social behavior are influenced by the cultural model offered by society, by the educational model offered by family and school. Another item in the sociological questionnaire referred to the perception of the role of civil society and the school development, altruistic attitudes, and pro-social behavior. In the perception of the students, civil society does not have a significant role to play in promoting welfare, pro-social behavior, in offering models which form pro-social personalities. Almost 70% consider that civil society does not promote this type of behavior, compared to only almost 30% of students who considered the civil society to be involved. The second subscale of our research, we analyzed the factors that motivate them to become students for social work bachelor degree, and afterwards choosing a career in social work. The second sub-skill has 9 items. It's based on Kronberg Alpha. The factors that motivate them to work in the field of social work were based on the correspondence of my own personality and personal development, a permanent and safe job, a prestigious institution in the field of social work, the opportunity to provide quality social work, possibility to promote and be successful in the career, the ability to communicate, to understand, and to be appreciated by one's colleagues, better earning opportunities for one's family and her own, know what is happening in the institution and participate in decisions, and have a decent life and adequate lifestyle. Now, the Kronberg Alpha offered certain results, which we will further investigate in a written paper. In conclusion, the prosocial tendencies were positively related to internalized prosocial factors and intrinsic motivation. Choosing, practicing a social profession, success and performance in practice are influenced by altruism, empathy, models that promote and support social values and social responsibility. Adults should offer more altruistic models and become more prosocial, perhaps more involved in helping people in difficulty. To have a prosocial society, we should start educating children in the spirit of altruistic values. Thank you very much for your attention.